catch that too. Because I'm trying to keep y'all and put you at a inward climb. As to where you're climbing. You're not declining. And you're not stagnated. If you decline, that literally means you have fallen away from what you know. You've fallen away from it. You chose to make a decision to walk away from it because you knew it. You passed by it going now. You passed by it going now. I'm coming up 134. I passed by the county line store to get here. I passed by that old Regal's package store place. That building ain't no good no more. I passed through the bypass to get here. So I passed by and I acknowledge these things as I'm passing by. But if I decide that I want to decline and start going backwards, that means that I'm literally saying, I saw all this stuff, but I'm declining. I'm acting as if I don't know about it. I'm walking away, a path away from it. I'm going back into things that I've already passed. So I can't lie and say I don't know it. If I say I don't know it, I'm a liar. So that's for the people that backslide. If you say you don't know it, you're lying. You just choose to not do it. Do y'all understand what I just said to y'all? You make a choice to not do it, which makes you a liar. You can't know the truth and then turn and walk away from it and pretend as if you did not know it, or sit there and deny it. That's why Peter got caught up in that fix. When they said to him, you was with that man. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. No, I wasn't. Because he had to literally deny what he knew. He had to pretend as though he did not know it. But he knew all along who was on that cross, didn't he? He knew the Savior was on that cross. He knew that was Jesus on that cross. Because he had done walk with him. So he had to lie in order to pretend like he did not know. That's what you have to do in a state of backsliding. You have to pretend that you don't know the truth. Literally pretend. Spiritual maturity is very important, y'all. But you gotta make a decision to do it. Y'all need to make a commitment. I can't make you. I can't force you. I'm responsible for leading, but I also got my own stuff and my own way that I'm having to make prosperous. You gotta make a decision to become spiritual mature. In spiritual maturity, there's different things that I said to you today. There are certain decisions that you got to make. You got to first understand that spiritual maturity comes with a leader. And you got to be willing to follow. And understand that it does not mean that means that if somebody got control over you, throw all that stuff away. That's done been put into the mindset, into the psyche from folk that did not want to submit. From folk that did not want to commit. That was their terminology. That was their way of doing things. Because if you sit down and check them out and really talk to them, you will see that they were not submissive people. And that was the reason why they come up with all of that. You will see that they were the ones that caused church splits. You will see that they were the ones that caused error to come upon the house of God. Because certain things that we do literally causes error against the house of God. And we don't realize that. We tend to think that we're fighting against people. But a lot of times we're battling against the house of God. We're battling against the Spirit of God that has dominion in a house. And so because of that, we don't realize that I'm fighting God. I'm fighting God. If I was to go into a house of God and get somebody out of that house, In your own mind. Did I do what was right? Was I with God? Was I for God? I'm serious. I'm asking this seriously because this stuff happens. And the enemy comes in to look to see who is the weakest. Because you're only as strong as the weakest link. So if I go in and I persuade, or I become a part of I don't know the word to call it, conspiracy or what have you, and I become a part of it, and I lure out people, can I say that I was in the Spirit of God? No. No. So we have to be careful, because you will find yourself being used by the enemy. And so if I do that, then my battle is not with the pastor. Who am I battling with? It's a battle with God. Because I just lured out sheep of his pasture, right? I lured out sheep of his pasture because they were of his fold. And I lured out sheep of his pasture. So that now makes me an enemy of God. You think he's going to just let that slide like that? So what I'm trying to tell y'all is be careful with the stuff that you do. Seriously. Be careful with what you do. Be careful with what you say. And be careful with what you do. Because see, sometimes you can think that you are just mad at a person. You can think, I'm just mad at Pastor Lee. You know, I got to Pastor Lee. You saying what you saying because you emotionally mad with Pastor Lee, but you don't mess around. I like to left this building just then. But you don't mess around and don't call somebody to leave the house of God because of what you done said. So, what's your weapon against Pastor Lee? Who you finna have to fight with? Show you right. You don't have to fight Pastor Lee. Exactly. You finna fight with God. Because you now just removed a sheep out of his fold because of your immaturity. Because of your lack of knowing how to hush. Or knowing how to work through things the appropriate way like you should. You now done caused a stifling. But you thought you were fighting against Pastor Lee because, see, you thought you were fighting against Pastor Lee because you carnal. So you saw it from a carnal position. You saw it from a carnal stance. She made me mad. So your carnality, she made me mad. So now it's carnal, you think. But what she said to you was spiritual. It was a carnal. So she's hid in the spirit. Because what she gave you was from God. She's hid in a secret place. You carnal. And so you carnal, so you're battling against the Spirit of God. You ain't even fighting against her. You battling against God. So the Lord said, oh, so this what you, oh, that's what you want? You want this? You want to pull something out of my house? Oh, okay then. You bad enough to do that? Well, I tell you what, I'm going to let you run for a little bit. But then what? Because that's how it happens. That's how it operates when you're not in spiritual maturity. Be very careful. Manage your emotions. One of my teachers is going to be on that. Managing them emotions. Watch your emotions. Don't let your emotions get you so caught up that they put you in a position where you go to rising up against what you don't need to rise up against. And let your mouth overload You know what they say? You know, let it get you in more trouble than what you need to be in. Start making a decision, a conscious decision today to spiritually mature. Make a conscious decision. Yes, it's a challenge. I can't tell you that it's easy. It's a process, but it is worth it. Are you going to bomb sometime? Yeah, but thanks be unto God when you realize you done bomb. I can say something and realize immediately when I say, dang, I didn't understand that. See, that's a part of spiritual maturity. You catch it, and you can fix it right at the moment. So make a decision to become spiritually mature so that we can see the hand of the Lord and we can walk in the inheritance of God that he has set for us. And we don't have to be outside of the things of God, but blessings that belong to us can fall on us. The grace of God that is set for us, the glory of God that is set for us can fall on us. The mercies of God that are set for us can fall on us. We don't have to be trying to figure out whether it's going to happen for us or not, but we know that it's going to happen. We know because we understand that we are heirs with God and we are joint heirs with Christ, and we have been adopted into this kingdom, so it belongs to me. Yeah, I may have to fight through some things that my family has always done. We've been the type of people that don't like folk that'll cut you real fast. We've been that type. Well, I want to excuse that and not be of that lineage anymore. I now want to be of the type that will extend mercy and extend grace and extend forgiveness. We may be the type of people that are needy or stingy or whatever. We want to excuse that. I don't want to be that. I want to be someone that freely gives and freely releases so that a harvest can come back to me. We may be the type of family that just stays to ourselves. We don't deal with folk. You know, we stay isolated within ourselves. Well, I don't want to be that type of person anymore. I want to be one that people feel as though they can touch me, that they can have conversation and fellowship with me and be able to be blessed by me. I don't want to be the type that don't want to listen anymore. May have been of a stubborn lineage that just does what I want to do, how I want to do it. Well, I realize that on this side right here, I can't conduct myself like that. I just can't do it like that. I've got to now become submitted. I've now got to become someone that is humble enough to bring myself under the tutelage and the leadership that the Lord has set for me. I got to be the type of person as to where the peace of God that surpasses all understanding becomes my portion. That is what I desire. I don't want to be toiling at night and struggling and going through things. I don't want to be always been the type of trying to figure things out on my own, always been my own person. I've been self-made. Well, I don't want to be self-made anymore. I now want to be God-made, where the Lord establishes my path and the Lord sets the direction for me to be able to go. But see, I got to make a decision to do that. That is the choice that you got to make. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just go over, just boom, snap your finger and it happens. You got to make a decision to be that way, to be spiritually mature, to be enlightened, that the eyes of your understanding will come enlightened, that you might know the hope of his calling for your life, that you want to know what it is the Lord has set for me. Yeah, I've been doing it on my own for so many years. Yeah, I've had to set my own way. Yeah, I've been on my own since I was 15 years old and all this. Yeah, have been working since I was 14 and all. I had to get my own school clothes and I had to get my siblings' school clothes and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, you had to do all that, but listen, you don't have to do that when you over here like this. The Lord is a provider. The Lord sustains. You got to understand that the Lord is the one that will take care of you. You got to get full revelation of the scripture that says that if a man does not work, he does not eat. That is not necessarily talking in a physical form. You got to get full revelation of what that actually means. If you do not work the principles, no, you won't eat. But if you work the principles, you'll eat. That's what it's talking about. That's what it's talking about. If you work the principles, your family will always have substance. But if you don't work the principles, you ought to be hungry. That has been mistaught. And God gave me the revelation of it. It's been mistaught. It's been taught in the context of they don't go till 8 to 5. Then that means that their family ain't going to eat. That is not true. If you do not work principles